There is so much coming to Season 2 that they had to release a Part 2 to the blog article that is going to be unveiling all the information for Season 2. So if you want the second half of the information, continue to listen on to this video. We also have to talk about the controversial pickup with OpTic Gaming picking up a challenger player, Dan Ghosty. The one thing I can tell you guys for sure though, the trash talking level from this guy is unparalleled. The streamer who had stray bullets hit outside of her room while she was live. And then lastly, we're going to get the inside scoop on Ashika Island because High Moon Studios, the developer of it, gave us a nice 90-second video kind of giving us the inside scoop, and at the end there may be even a little Easter egg for us. But as I said, we got a freaking part 2 of this blog article. There is so much to break down here, but all in all, this is going to be breaking down, the Ashika Island, the 1v1 gulag, new contracts, public events, the new AI, more, and just overall general changes. The Ashika Island is also known as the Isle of the Sea Lion, which is kind of cool, and personally, I love this backdrop. We have the return of Resurgence, which is beautiful. A playlist updates throughout Season 2 will feature Resurgence Island in solos, duos, trios, and quads. In this mode, a countdown appears next to the name of the eliminated squad member, as long as at least one other squad member is still alive. Once the timer completes, the eliminated player is redeployed. Beautiful. Here's one of the new features that we talked about in yesterday's video, but I love this. It's called Restore Your Honor and Exact Revenge Against Your Enemies. Once per match, operators who fall on Ashika Island will drop a dog tag when they die or perish. If you are one of the squad mates or you come back from redeploying and you pick up that dog tag, you'll be rewarded with a small cash reward and a UAV ping to scan the area. So here are two strategies for this feature. You could be truly honorable, which is head straight for your dog tag after redeployment, which is a smart way to get a heartbeat, some cash, and like an idea where the loot boxes are around you so you can kind of regain. Or you could do it as dishonorable bait. Given the advantage it provides, an enemy dog tag can be used to lure enemies into exposing their positions. If you see a dog tag in the wild, consider taking the advantageous position near it and pick off the operators who attempt to pick it up. I love that this like kill confirmed feature, or like the idea of it, is making its way over. I personally, I'm a big fan of this change. However, if you don't like it, that's okay. There's other path to riches on here. Season 2 balances the Battle Royale cash money economy for more consistent rewards when pursuing resources. The cash payout for completing contracts has been slightly reduced, while minimum cash value piles on the ground loot has been slightly increased. So the rewards for doing bounties and whatnot has gone down, while the floor loot, like the base cash that you find on the ground, has gone up. I don't see why it needed to go down at all. Like if someone does a bounty or a scavenger or whatever, they should be highly rewarded for it. But cash will no longer be found in basic and legendary supply boxes, but it can be found as ground loot in containers in white stronghold supply boxes. Really, guys? The emphasis on looting during matches rather than solely completing contracts to rack up cash. Be sure to search every supply box, duffel bag, locker, and other containers for maximum cash gains during matches. Okay, so at least we could just search supply boxes, duffel bags, and lockers. That seems to be where the cash is going to be. Now we got to talk about the 1v1 gulag. With Season 2 sees the return of the 1v1 gulag. In this iteration, the jailer is out. Thank God. It's just you and the enemy player, with the return of the domination style control point as the overtime mechanic. So literally all of the gulag, the perfect gulag from Warzone 1, where it's just you and somebody else and a flag in the center, it's coming back. And they're saying practice make perfect, chuck those nades, and more cash. The gulag now spawns cash as ground loot to reward players who move around, and you could still stall enough. Okay, cool. So in the gulag, you can pick up some cash. This is going to be going over more like search and seizure. This is going to be, I don't know if this is specific to Ashika Island, or like the resurgence mode, or if it's going to be expanded past into like the normal battle royale. But if you don't know what search and seizure is, in search and seizure, operators are tasked with tracking down a stolen vehicle taken by the Shadow Company. Get to its location marked on the minimap, take its key from one of the nearby guards, and navigate the vehicle to the designated area. It's a risky venture, but the rewards will set up for success later in the match. I want to know is this going to be an armored vehicle with like a turret on top? Because that would make sense for something like this, or even the boat that has like more armor and a turret on it. I could just see how like that makes sense as a reward for completing that in game. But if we're gonna have armor piercing bullets and like rockets, they need to be able to shred those vehicles as a compromise of like, okay, if more heavy armored vehicles are running around, the armor piercing bullets need to pierce armor. Now next is the new public event data heist. It's going to be in season, so this isn't at the launch, but this is going to be coming in later on, maybe like season reloaded. In Ashika Island's new data heist public event, a trio of uplink stations, so there's going to be 3 stations that spawn up just like strongholds, are going to pop up around the map. during the second circle collapse. Approach a station to hack it for rewards. Prepare to defend it, just like if you were going to do like a recon. You're going to have an area, and if someone comes in, it contests the recon. The other way to kind of stop this or halt it is by having one of those like the DDoS field upgrades. You can get near that, pop that, and shut that down. And as a reward, you'll get cash and a random piece of tactical equipment. However, if you hack the second or third uplink station, it will result in greater rewards, including kill streaks. Operators can disrupt hacking by using a DDoS field upgrade or by Okay, that's what I was saying just a second ago. If they're pretty close and you can kind of fly from one to the second and get like a free kill streak out of this, and you can do this pretty efficiently, this could be a kind of a fun little public event. Now, the second one is get around fast with redeploy drones. And this probably goes in hand with this, with like taking a redeploy and going to the next station. But these redeploy drones are interesting because they seem to move in with the circle, and it looks like they're not in a fixed position, that they themselves can move a little bit. In this blog article, it says, reposition quickly by using the new redeploy drones set for deployment during Season 2. Interact with the drone to hook up with the cable and launch towards a distant location. Operators can reposition around the cable in preparation for the launch, offering flexibility of where you land. Which is kind of nice. I don't know if you guys remember in Warzone 1, even if you like try to turn, like the direction you were facing was the direction you were heading. So this one's nice to be able to like run and then like 180 and launch back the other way, just in case you need to try to like reposition yourself for a quick gunfight. Some drones will reposition to a safe area when encircled in the gas. That is fantastic. Here are some general changes that we should be expecting. We should be expecting some faster looting and streamlined backpack. Customizable perks should be able to get to our loadouts faster. We're all going to be deploying with a 3-plate vest, which is fantastic. There's going to be some buy station adjustments and a stronghold reward tuning. So just running through that, the inventory system is shifting away from menus and back to floating loot that will drop out of containers like it does from supply boxes. This is fantastic. And Season 2 introduces customizable perk packages. At first, a limited supply of perks will be available to ensure the proper balance and viability. Try different combinations of perks to see which ones work out for best different situations. That's cool. All players will now begin the Battle Royale matches with a 3-plate vest. Varying vest sizes will no longer be a part of the loot pool, so you can focus on just loading armor plates. That's great. Spawn locations for buy stations are being adjusted in Season 2. These spawns will be consistent markers from match to match. Furthermore, all buy stations will have unlimited stock of loadout drop markers. That is great. Can we add a comma and say, as well as UAVs? I mean, Jesus Christos. And just because we're getting a small map does not mean that they're not making changes to Al Mazrah, because it actually is getting some POI updates. For example, we're getting a downplay at Sadak Cave, as well as there's this subterranean area, and we're going to get this new underground cave network. So let's break this down. Veterans of the Call of Duty franchise may have felt the outdoor space within Sadak Cave region looked familiar before Season 2, and the upcoming change to this point of interest at all but confirms these suspicions. For those who don't know, the tactical strategies needed, the new downplane offers a great amount of cover in between the large cave openings, houses, and bunkers, or as a place to reload and replate before re-engaging. And then the thing that I'm honestly most excited about is this underground cave network. Whether you played Battle Royale DMZ in the past season, you may have noticed the space between the Oil and Tarek village, which was populated only by military camps, hills, and small homes. With Season 2 update, a new network of caves will be open, giving operators an additional option for getting around this part of the map by foot. And I wondered in yesterday's video, but it looks like we got confirmation here. We're getting a new passenger train. The freight train is no longer the only locomotive rolling along Al Mazrah's rail network. It means we're going to get multiple, at least 2. The passenger train will offer yet another quick way of traveling around the map, stocking up on items, including legendary supply boxes that could be found within its sleeper, bar, and normal passenger cars. Unlike the freight train, all cars in this locomotive will be covered with only a few, allowing for access via skylights on the roof. Traveling through the cars on this train is also different compared to doing so with the freight train, as it involves opening doors in between each one. Take the extra second to peek by slowly opening the doors, just in case you want to stealthily engage operators in the other cars, or barge straight through while plating for an aggressive start to ensue the fight. I hate that they try to like, hey, well, you could barge and sprint and plate at the same time. Like, why are you even trying to like, hey, we're doing this? Like, that should never have been taken away. And this is just going to be a quick recap of Walk the Path of the Ronin. This is going to be like the small event that kicks off Season 2. And it's going to give us, you know, the rewards like stickers, emblems, weapon charms, all of that stuff. And we get a breakdown of what these challenges are going to be. One is going to be integrity. Multiplayer will win 15 matches in any multiplayer game mode. Get 5 top 10 finishes for Warzone. Okay, honor. In multiplayer, it says get 100 objective defensive kills. Warzone 2, collect your dog tag, restore honor 5 times. That's kind of cool. And then sincerity, get 50 kills using battle rage. And Warzone 2, complete 5 assassination contracts. I love that. I like these challenges. They're nice and they're simple. I think season 2 is a little, it worries me a little bit, just because if you really look at like the roadmap, I would say about like 40% of it is recycled stuff, and one of the new maps that is being delivered is one of the maps that we had during Alpha Museum. But as I said earlier in this video, Optic does a gamble by picking up Dan Ghosty. Last night, if you didn't know, Illy was dropped. He tweeted out this morning that he's a restricted free agent, which just blew everybody's mind. And then a few hours later, or really the next morning, Optic confirms that Dan Ghosty is the main flex going forward. So Brucey's going to be the main AR. This guy's a flex, and then you got Hook and Shotzi as the duo. And if you don't know who this guy is, well, I can tell you one thing. I don't really either, but his shit talk is on a whole nother level.
Yo, Clay, most kills in 2 maps. I'm better than you, Clay. Why'd you drop me?
I mean, come on. That is just golden. But one thing that I have to say is not golden, and it's kind of a rough transition, but it's crazy. We've talked about people being swatted before, but this streamer had stray bullets hit outside of her room while she was live. Of course, shout out to the hunter for making us aware of this. But just listen to this whole interaction, because it is terrifying.
I'm gonna have to bring that back down.
See, you're at 48. Wait, are you? Wait.
Wait, let me see.
Oh, you're silver 2. I thought that was silver 3. What in
They're
the
shooting,
fuck?
they're shooting, they're shooting. They're shooting, they're shooting, they're shooting, they're shooting.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. You're okay. Just breathe.
Shooting in my hallway, they're shooting in my hallway. All the time.
Just breathe.
I don't know about you guys, but that is just terrifying. We live in just a crazy world. So if you don't already, the next time you see a loved one today, or your family, friend, just let them know that you care about them and that you love them. And all I have to say is I'm glad that she is safe. It seems like this streamer is blessed, and I am glad that she is safe, because that is a terrifying experience. And the last experience that I kind of wanted to leave us on, I'm sorry for that kind of insensitive transition, but I just want to get through this video. I want to give you guys the inside scoop on Ashika Island. This was like a 90-second video that Activision / High Moon Studios dropped, and I feel like, well, maybe we can learn something from it.
Here today to give you some information about the new map. Ashika Island is going to have full support for Resurgence in DMZ, and if you stick around, you might get some information about some of the new Easter eggs that are coming. Ashika Island is a Japanese-inspired location. I think it fits Resurgence really well because of the variety of the spaces. We've got Tsuki Castle.
This is like an ancient castle in the middle of this modern-day island.
There's a moat around the castle, so you're able to pull your chute. You take a little bit of damage, but it's a quick way to get down faster. We've got the beach club, and half of the building's flooded, so there's really cool points of entrance. If you swim down underwater, break through a window, we've seen some pretty cool plays where people are able to flank enemy teams that are inside there. There's a residential area. It's got parkour routes between these 2 buildings. You're able to jump from one balcony over to the other. Got a mini downtown section called Town Center. The wave breaks that we've got on the side of the town center, they can actually launch the vehicles over them. So the new personal watercraft, it's basically like an ATV on the water.
We have this series of underground waterways. They're really cool because you can take some of the watercraft through the island and you can pop up at other spaces.
One of the new gameplay features are the redeploy drones. They fire a line into the ground, you're able to jump on it. As the gas is closing in, they'll pull up their anchor and they'll try to find new spots and relocate. We've doubled down in terms of the number of Easter eggs. A lot of these are actually going to be rolling out throughout the season. Maybe try chucking a grenade in the water every now and then, see what happens.
Did you guys catch that? Because do we have to start throwing grenades in the water to see what might be fishing around or swimming around in there? It does worry me that they toned down the Easter eggs, but that they're going to be unveiling more throughout the season. So, you know what? Actually, I take that back. It's cool because when the original Fortune's Keep and Resurgence map dropped, there was so many Easter eggs that it was kind of hard to figure out all of them. I kind of like that they're doing one, and then they might give us a clue when the next one unveils. And if you don't know, the Easter eggs is like in Fortune's Keep, when you would run, you could drop cash in one of the water fountains, and it would spew out loot depending on how much cash you dropped in. I'm sure that they're going to add stuff like this in there because it's High Moon Studios, mixed with Treyarch. They know how to do it. But with that said, that's where we're going to wrap up the video. I got to edit this bad boy so you guys can get to it. With that said, if you like the video, if you learned something new, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's get this channel to 500 subscribers, then 1,000, then to the moon. But before we hit the moon, I need you guys to tell somebody you love them, make somebody laugh today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.